She's a diva with a destiny. Got purpose and zest, you see. Books, business, and accessories. She walks in favor and she's blessed indeed. She keeps her head and her heels high, and her limit soars beyond the sky. If it's purpose she's pushing, you've tuned in with Table Talk with a Diva. Why? Join in, it might free ya. Hey, hey. And if you're feeling down, come in. The enemy he's trapped won't win. For God has given you vision, and in the end you shall win. Hey. Table Talk with a Diva. Why? Join in, it might free ya. Hey, hey. And if you're feeling down, come in.
To say great evening, and thank you for joining Table Talk with the Diva. I am Arthur Pierre Collins, and I'm always excited and delighted about a platform with a queen, someone that knows her purpose and who she is and where she is going. So I am so honored today to have the amazing guest, Destiny Inspired, on the platform. So I want you ladies to please grab your sisters, tag a friend, anyone that you care about in her purpose and what's going on in her life. I need you to tag her, ask her to jump on, pull up a seat at the table for Table Talk while Destiny is able to share and shine and serve without a doubt. So I am so honored. Thank you and welcome Miss Destiny to the platform. How are you this evening?
I am well. How about yourself?
Outstanding. No complaints at all. No complaints. No complaints. Well, we are going to roll on out because I know you do have another event. I saw the flyer. So I'm excited about what God is doing in your life. And thank you so much for just accepting the opportunity, the invite. So I am humble and I'm grateful for you being here tonight. I am really, really excited about hearing whatever it is that God has given you. I don't do a lot of questions. I like to kind of just let it flow. You know, one question leads to another. But before we do get started with the chat, I always do a icebreaker, and I have 3 words. I will give you one word. You give me the first word that comes to your mind, and it doesn't matter, you know, of course, what it is. It may be hot dog. I say mustard. You say ketchup. It does not matter. But I know that words are important, and they bring life to our destiny and our purpose. So it is very, very key for me to do my icebreaker. So the first word, I think I am going to say, what did I have? I think mirror.
Mirror?
Yes, ma'am.
Divine image.
Come on now. Okay. Endurance.
Resilient to the end.
And last but not least, my all-time favorite, destiny.
Life's purpose.
Okay, then you were ready. Always ready. I love it. Always on 10. All right, all right. So we are going to get started. So I want you to kind of share a little bit. Tell if someone would ask, who is Destiny? Share with us, myself and the viewers, who Destiny is, without giving them too much, but just enough to be clear, you know, about who you are.
Yeah. So Destiny is a goal-driven woman who prides herself on resiliency through faith, through Christ and God, who helps other women increase their confidence to understand their worth, their value, their identity in Christ in order to experience good success in every area of their life.
That is Destiny. Wow. A mouthful. I love it. I love it. Okay. So it is very important to be a sister's keeper, I would say, from what everything that you just said. That is, I'm sure, something very, very important to you, being a sister's keeper, helping another sister along.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And so what's inspired you? What inspires you as far as get you going to do what you're called to do? Once you discover the purpose of what God has called you for, what is that thing? What is that drives you home to say, I got to do this no matter what?
Yeah, so my driving force is remember my own life's resume. When I say life's resume, I mean the same way you would look at a job resume that lists off your experiences, your skills, your adaptabilities, your qualities. When I think about my own life's resume and all of the things that I've experienced, encountered, been through, whether it's good or bad, when I think about all the depression, when I think about the divorce, when I think about the anxiety, when I think about the loss of identity, I think about who I was in those seasons of my life and how I needed a me to come and help me get out of that mess. I needed a me who was made in the divine image of God, walking in their destiny, to come and remind me of who I was, so I wouldn't give up on myself and give up on my destiny. So my driving force, remembering who I used to be and knowing that there's another woman who's where I once was, who's waiting on me to do what God called me to do, to come help her by way of authoring, by way of speaking, whatever the modality is of my purpose, but making sure I get to her to bring her up to where I am, or where she get up to where she's supposed to be. So that's my drive.
That's your drive. I get that. I can get with that. I could definitely relate to that from my past. And that's what definitely I found my purpose in the gutter, at the bottom of everything, thinking that I wasn't worth anything. And I waste a lot of time struggling in shame. So shame played a big part for me over the years. And now here I am, 50 plus. And it has taught me never forget where you were or where you come from. And so it pushes me even further. So I understand where you're coming from. And so I totally agree with that. But I love that. So tell us a little bit about the boot camp, because I see you I know you have a lot going on, but I definitely want to hear a little bit about the boot camp, the Boss Up boot camp.
Yeah, so the Boss Up Boot Camp, Bible, Brains, and Beauty, it is about women of faith-based and entrepreneur and professional women coming together to develop and enhance every area of their life. So not settling for just being successful in work or successful, but being successful in every facet of life, from your spiritual walk to your professional walk to even your personal development. And I think that is important as women, because a lot of times we get stuck in one area of life and we may neglect our personal care. We may neglect our own goals. We may neglect, maybe our work. We may put too much work and neglect something else. So the boot camp is about developing in all three areas of life, starting with the Bible, which is your foundation, and then as well as your business, your brand, your profession, and then as well as your personal development, which is the beauty, which starts from the inside and then radiates out. So it's a very impactful. It is a 90-day program now as well for women to tap into the inner me, right? Because sometimes the inner me is the enemy. So it's allowing us to tap the inner me and develop her, to cultivate her. And to understand that we don't have to choose one area or the other to be successful. And as women, we're not just beautiful. We're not just smarter. We're not just this or that. We're not either or. We're both and all of the above. And I always like to use the example of the prophetess Deborah. She was not only a prophetess, she was a warrior, wife. She was a songstress. She was many things. She was one thing in a box. And that is an example that the Bible gives us. So he left us that example, and we too can be Bible, brains, and beauty.
And beauty. Wow. Okay, girl, you just set the platform on fire. I love that. Because many times they say beauty and brains, but forgetting the Bible, because we definitely have to start, as you said, with our foundation and where God has created us and what our purpose is. So that is really, really, really powerful and interesting. I saw a lot of feedback on it, and I was like, wow, this is really, really impressive and something powerful in itself. So I just love everything that I see that you're doing. So I'm constantly watching. I try not to be a Facebook or Instagram stalker, but I love what you're doing. I love it. So I says, okay, Lord, I can't like everything. As my daughters tell me, they're in their 20s and they say, Mama, you can't like everything. Just like I said, but how do you let someone know they're doing an outstanding job? They're doing a great job. But they said, well, we don't do that. I said, well, I'm not the millennium. So this is what I do. They just say, don't like everything. Just watch. I said, so I try to watch.
I like it. I'm the first person on the post, like, yes, queen, yes.
Yes, that's it. And so they don't get that yet. They haven't got that yet. I'm still working on them. But they just say, oh, you can't just do it like that. But I love that. It's so impressive. And I jumped on one of your calls no more than a month ago, and it really, really blessed me. And so I'm able to go on it sometimes because I have a prayer call with my church. So I wasn't able to get on every Wednesday, but I enjoyed just hearing the women pour into each other, and that is so vitally important. So in that area, I will say that you definitely have inspired me to do the same and it was nudging at me, and I didn't like, okay, Lord, I don't really want to do that. And he said, this isn't about you. This is what I'm calling you to. So I thought when I stepped down from a particular situation as an intercessor, I thought that was the end of that. And I'll continue to pray and do my personal thing. And God said, no, 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 because what I have for you is so much bigger than you. So it's not about what you're doing. It's what you're doing for me. And so when I jumped on, you really, really inspired me, and it just brought me to tears to hear the young women, you know, just how they pour out and they're receiving it, depositing into another woman. I said, Lord, I just love that. So that is really, really, really from my heart. I really appreciate, you know, that. And so I said, I said, whenever I get her on, I will definitely let you know that that was very, very powerful. And I enjoyed the call. So keep doing what you're doing. But so what do you have? I know you're an author. So what exactly is it? Just your, not just, but is it your journey that you wrote about only? Or
I have two books that I wrote out. The first was called Discovering Destiny, and it's actually more it's called a guide, a 31-day guide to finding yourself and fulfilling your purpose. So in it, I put in excerpts of my own journey, but also it's more so a practical self-coaching tool as well. Practical examples and things that we deal with on our journey to purpose and on our journey to really discovering who we are. So for instance, chapter 1, which is one of the most favorite chapters for the queens, is called Identity. And in there, we do an exercise to where I have you write out a list of who you are. Like, who are you? Usually when we say, who are you? Say, well, you know, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, CEO, nurse, doctor. You know, we list all these things. So then I said, what if one by one of those things were stripped away from you? Every title, every role, and every responsibility. So if you were stripped of those, who then would you be? And so it's really self-reflective to get you to ask yourself, who am I at my core? What do I like to do? Who am I really? If I didn't have a role or a title, who would the real me be? Right. And so it's that to uncover and to discover, kind of uncovering things in our lives that we've buried or had hidden that have kept us really we are. So it's a full 31-day guide. It's really very digestible, kind of cuts out the fluff. You can like read a chapter a day, and it really gives you that sense of drive and purpose to help counteract anything like that. And then my second book, which is my bestseller, is called 7 Keys to Self-Confidence. And it's literally 7 keys that have helped me on my journey with cultivating a godlike confidence that allows me to walk in my power, command my room, walk in authority, and know who I am as a queen. And so that's my best-selling book, 7 Keys to Self-Confidence. And the first one is called Discovering Destiny. And so it's a play on words, not so much just about discovering myself, but discovering your God-given purpose in life and what it's all about. It talks about legacy, talks about preserving your peace, protecting your peace. Talks about a lot of things.
That is powerful. That's important, your peace, because as I said, if you don't have peace, you don't have anything. We can have all the glam and glitter and money and entourage, but if we don't have peace, we have absolutely nothing along with Jesus. So he definitely gives us the peace. So that is really good. I'm going to definitely purchase the book. I'm interested because I knew about the first one. I'm not the first one. I knew about the one, I guess, that's recently, maybe last year in 2020 or 21. When did you release your second book?
The second was actually last year, November. So we're in 21 already. It was 27 Keys of Self-Confidence. The COVID year kind of threw me off, so it's hard to. I think they just kind of run together.
Understandable. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to purchase that. I love it. I just love it. Exciting being an author and being able to share on that level, and folks are buying your books that may never lay eyes on you, but just your words. They have life, and they are just bringing people to, pushing them to another level, getting in position for what you're really destined for. I love that. So it's valuable to share. It is valuable to share your journey, because so many people need it, and we never know who we're assigned to. So I really take pride in that. But this is really good. You got some good stuff. But I've been, checking you out, and I'm loving it. I can't even say thank you enough for just jumping on and just being able to share some with some women. So what are a few things that if you could inspire a woman that may be going through, and I heard you say divorce. I don't know about divorce. I'm married 26 years, about to have a renewal. So I don't know about the divorce part, but if you can share maybe a couple of things because I know a lot of times as a wife and a mother of 2 daughters, we lose ourselves. And so that was my struggle for one point, a part of my journey as well. I just wanted to be the best mom, just wanted to be this great wife. And there's no perfect person, but I thought I had to be perfect because I wanted them not to be like me. I have a background where I came from the strip club, out the club, into just trying to be the best that I could be, but I was missing the mark because I was beating up myself when God had already forgiven me. I'm still holding on to all this, and he's saying, you know, what's up? I've forgiven you, but you're struggling. And so that was my struggle. So I held on to the shame. And so I lost myself in the midst of that. So if you can kind of talk a little bit about that, just going through a divorce, how did you manage and find yourself back? Maybe somebody else might be sitting here, and I'm sure there are plenty of women that are watching and saying, you know, I don't think I can, you know, do this again. I don't want to be remarried. And a lot of times, you know, we blame the past, and then we want to blame everybody for what has happened, and that's gone. So if you can kind of share a little bit about some struggles in the divorce and finding yourself.
Yeah. So I always say that divorce was the absolute worst and best thing that ever happened to me.
First, same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe that God makes mistakes even when we do. He can take whatever it is that we think was a failure, and I change the way I look at everything, because so in life everything is mindset shifting. I'm a master certified life coach, so one of the biggest things is really being able to help women overcome the limiting beliefs that we've created. And so we things as failure as the world does, but when you convert how you look at it and look at it as not failure but as feedback, I now have the feedback that I need to make sure that moving into another relationship, I don't make the same decisions. I make sure that I'm better, and then I use it as fuel. I use it as fuel to get me to my next level, and I understand that God doesn't waste pain. He doesn't waste anything. So if I went through it, it's something that he wants to do with it. And so people who solve problems, like, you are put on this earth to solve a problem, and so you can't solve a problem that you have not quite encountered. So things like abuse, abandonment. I deal with a lot of women who deal with, you know, rejection, have dealt with maybe molestation or abandonment issues, and so they do go to therapy. They have therapists, but in collaboration with the therapist, because I do believe in Jesus therapy, I help them where they are and help them move forward. And by doing that, first I have to identify, what do we really want in life now? Maybe going rough patch or season, and we always fixate our mind on what we don't want, what we don't like, what went wrong, what didn't work out. But then you have to ask yourself, what do I want, and what is it serving me by continuing to hold on to this? A lot of times it's not serving me at all. It's got to be serving or fulfilling some type of need, because you won't address it and let it go. So when we get to the root of it and say, okay, how can I now reverse engineer this pain? What can I learn from it to get from here to there? And so for me, it was all about learning how to recycle my experiences and go back and reflect on them and see, what are the areas that I maybe missed the mark, or what are the areas that I maybe didn't see that I should have saw that I will make sure I can see next time. And so when I gather all of this data, gather all this feedback that everyone else calls failure, I now can become a better version of myself and understand that my problems don't define me. My problems and my pain are what give me power if I know how to use them, right? You can take two people that go through the exact same thing, and the difference is what you choose to do with that pain, what you choose to do with that situation. We're all given an equal opportunity in life. We all have equal problems. They may not be the same, but we're all going to be given a share of problems. God doesn't decide, okay, you won't get pain, but you get pain. We're all going to have some type of pain in this world, but it's a matter of what you do with it. And so for me, it was a matter of shifting my mindset and making the decision that I cannot live in depression. I cannot live in fear. I cannot live in anxiety. I cannot live in the past. And the offense may not have been my fault, but the healing will always be my responsibility. So it's my responsibility to make the conscious decision to move forward. And what does moving forward looks like? It looks like first renewing your mind in the word and making sure on your foundation, you know who you are based on the Bible, not based on someone coming along and telling you something, talking you, or convincing you who they think you should be. Who does the word say that I am, right? And the Bible says, who do men say that I am, right? And so you have to ask yourself, who does God say that I am? In Psalms 139, he says that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are his works, right? And so when I identify and know that, then I realize that my self-worth and my identity is rooted in the word of God, not in the words of man. So whatever man may say or do to me, that's not the final say. I have the power to create. We have the same power. God said, the works that I do shall you do also, and greater works. He was able to speak a thing and decree it, and it had to be established. So we have to speak into our own lives and speak into our own destinies and prophesy what we want to see. We don't have to wait for a prophet to come and give us a word. The Spirit of God is the word of prophecy. And Dr. Darius Daniel says the best way, Dr. Darius Daniel said that preparation is an act of prophecy, right? So when you are preparing yourself for what you want to be married again, you want to be happy, prepare yourself like you are now. The preparation is already prophesying to the future, saying, I know it's coming. I see it coming. As a result, let me prepare myself. Let me become who I need to be. And another quote that says the best way to predict the future is to create it. We have the power to create, just like God spoke into the world and let there be. He had creative power. We were made after the image and the similitude of God. So if he opened up his mouth and he spoke and could create what he wanted to see, we can create as well. And we do it all the time. We just do it for the wrong reason. We do it for the wrong reason. Wow. Death in our own lives. We create more chaos because we don't understand the power of our tongue and our words. So we're always using absolutes. It's always happens to me. I'm always this. I'm never this. And when we speak those words, we're speaking word curses over ourselves and not even realize it. So then nothing ever goes right. So now we've made self-fulfilling prophecies because we're speaking things out of our mouth and causing them to come to be. So it's a matter of shifting your mindset, remembering who you are, and speaking it from the word of God. Affirmations are rooted in the word of God. The Bible says, I am that I am. And so we take those same two words and behind we put what God said that we are. He's called you, he called you beautiful. He called you more than a conqueror. He called you beloved. He called you fearfully and wonderfully made. So when you program your mind, your mindset shift, then you will who you are, whether you're going through a divorce, a separation, abandonment, rejection, whatever it is, it applies across the board.
The same. That's good stuff. That is the truth. That is the truth. And he cannot lie. And definitely he has no respect of a person. So you're right. We have to be careful what we speak. And so I've always said, learning to frame your world with your words. Be careful of what you're speaking. Because like you said, a lot of time, and just being and growing up, my mama would say, oh, Lord, my back is killing me. Or my head is killing me. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Because they will do that. It will do that. So being very careful and mindful of the words that we speak, it is so important. And shifting your mindset is everything. It is key. That is absolutely true. Well, I thank you so much for this. I do know the time is drawing near because like I said, I'm aware of your schedule. And I was trying to monitor and make sure I'm not going over. So if you would share with the viewers, maybe a last thought that you would like to share with someone that may be just listening and may have questions they didn't get a chance to offer, and how they can find you on social media, whatever platform.
Yes, so I am Destiny Inspire on all platforms. Instagram, Destiny Inspire. Facebook, Destiny Inspire. Clubhouse, if you have Clubhouse, Destiny Inspire. Twitter, Destiny Inspire. You can find me on my social media or my website, destinyinspire.com, for booking or coaching consultation. I'm starting again a 90-day program for women called B3, Bible, Brains, and Beauty. It's a transformational program. 31 days is a habit, but we don't want to create habits. We want lifestyle change. Lifestyle change. And so other than that, last words I will leave is to remind someone that your life is not an accident. Your mistakes, they're not accidents. Everything you've been through has purpose. And you are called for a time and a season such as this. And this is the sign that you've been waiting on. The world is waiting on you. Creation is waiting and travailing for the manifestation of the queens of God. Your family is waiting on you. You are the curse breaker. You are the legacy leaver. It all starts with you. And so you're not waiting on God. God is waiting on you.
Come on, he's waiting on you. He's waiting on you. Well, there you have it, ladies. I pray that you have gained some knowledge from Destiny Inspire. You have the information for the platform. The episode is being recorded through Facebook as well as YouTube Live. So if you missed something, you're able to reach out to me, or you can go to YouTube Live at my channel, Destiny Chasers, and you'll be able to watch the replay if you no longer see that red light at the top. So definitely we want to say thank you so much for the empowerment and the education and the enlightening. This has been really, really a joy for me, and I do appreciate you. I take nothing for granted. So every opportunity I get to be able to facilitate and have a boss queen like yourself and myself on a platform to be able to share with other women that you can make it no matter what obstacles you're facing. You can make it. So thank you for doing that, and you nailed it. And I am just so honored, and I do appreciate your time, and I speak blessings upon you and your family. Continue to do what you're doing, because God is more than pleased. He's more than pleased. So I say thank you again.
Blessings back to you. I pour strength back into you, and whatever need is that you have, I pray that God has already met. He's already heard you in your secret time of prayer. He's going to answer everything you have before him.
I receive. Well, you have an amazing night, and I know you have a busy schedule. So thank you so much again, and you take care.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
Yes. Bye-bye. All right. Good night.
She's a diva with a destiny. Got purpose and zest, you see. Books, business, and accessories. She walks in favor and she's blessed indeed. She keeps her head and her heels high, and her limit soars beyond the sky. If it's purpose she's pushing, you've tuned in with Table Talk with a Diva. Why? Join in, it might free ya. Hey, hey. And if you're feeling down, come in. The enemy he's trapped won't win. For God has given you vision, and in the end you shall win. Yeah. Table Talk with a Diva. Why? Join in, it might free ya. Yeah.